a relief. So
Oh,
Ew, what a bummer.
yeah, we're recorded.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello and welcome. So glad you were able to fight through the technology.
Hi, yes. Let's see, Christina. Oh, it looks like my video is not working.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is Christina. It doesn't look like we have a video option on our end.
Really?
hmm.
Let me see if I can fix that. Huh.
Oh, that might have.
You're now panelists, so I believe you might be able to.
Okay, that did it.
Hey, there's Christina.
Hi. I think where's
Working, we're
Erica?
good. Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
Would you like us to go ahead and get started, or does the district have any other business to conduct in today's meeting?
No, please, you're everything for us today.
Okay, perfect. I think our original appointment said the regular board meeting, so we wanted to make sure we didn't start ahead of any other items.
Nope.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's exciting to see you all virtually again. You know, we look forward to, getting back in person to do the in-person meetings at some point. But for now, we will accept the cost savings of doing everything remotely. It's very nice to have that. My name is Christina Baylor. I serve as the program manager for the office. I've actually had the pleasure of working with the district for many years, over 10 years ago, coming on site to do the audit in person. So it's always good to see some familiar faces such as Dan again and Joe. I am joined by Erica Davies. Erica served as the assistant audit manager on the audit. So she was really tasked with supervising all of the work that went into our most recent audit, and she'll be joining me today in the presentation. Before we get started, it would be really good to do some introductions for the district attendees. So I don't know if Dan or Dr. Joe, if you'd like to kick us off.
Sure. I'm Joe Mocha, Superintendent of South Whidbey, and I'll pass it to Ann Johnson.
I'm Ann Johnson. I am the vice chair of the board, and I'm also the audit officer.
I'm Marnie Jackson. I'm a board member and also serve as our legislative representative. I'll pass it to, oh, go for it.
I'm Brooke Williford. I'm the board chair.
Andrea Downs, policy rep.
And I'm Dan.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate the introduction. All right. Well, the purpose of today's meeting is what we call our exit conference. It's a chance to share the results of the district's most recent audit while they're still in draft form and answer any questions that you have before they become public and published on our website. You'll see on the screen at the bottom, we do have a small disclaimer that we'd just like to share with you all. In addition to the virtual presentation that we have for you today, we did send over a packet of information that you can take a look at while we move through this material or at your leisure. Everything will be summarized on the slide, so it's not necessary to have that up in front of you if you don't already do so. But if you do, we will mention a few page numbers as we move through the materials. So with that, we'll start with our first slide for you, which is just an overview of our office and some, results that we hope are achieved from conducting an audit. So I know a number of you have been through this process many, many times previously, so you're very familiar with the audit process. But just in case you might be new to this role, we do like to share with you all that the State Auditor's Office is a separately elected state office. We are appointed by the state legislature and written into the state constitution to be the auditor of all public funds. That does give us the unique perspective of seeing school district operations across the entire state. So it really lets us share what we see out there and see if it's helpful for you as you conduct your business. But in looking at the audit process itself, we hope that you view it as a tool, first and foremost, to help build trust in government. So the audit really is just a process that can really report to you as members of the board and the superintendent and management on how things are going. If there's any areas that come to our attention as auditors that we want to share with you, that could be good to take another look at or make small improvements in as the district conducts its business. A second goal that we always hope is achieved from the audit process is really just making the district's operations transparent and open to the public and your citizens. So as an office, we do publish all of our reports directly on our website. They're available to your citizens, your stakeholders, even your external stakeholders if you have any bond rating agencies or items of that nature. So having that out there really can show the public that you've had a review done and here's the results. So it can be really useful in that respect. But we do know that the audit process can result in recommendations. So whether it does or it doesn't, please know that we do take great care. We really think through these items that we do need to share as recommendations, whether they're required to be shared with you as a recommendation or whether they are items that are really designed to help the district improve its efficiency and effectiveness. And that is something that I hope you'll see when you work with tongue-tied, work with us. But I will say a little bit of a good news. This is a very good audit, a very clean audit. We have very minimal items to share with you today, so there won't be any questions in that regard. So we'll jump into what those results look like. And Erica is going to walk you through the first of two audits that we did conduct for the district. So Erica?
All right. Yes, so the first type of audit that we perform each year for the district is a financial audit for the period, and this audit was performed for the period of September 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2022. The goal of a financial statement audit is to issue an opinion as to whether or not the district's financial statements are free from material error and can be relied upon to make decisions. So you'll see there in that blue box that we are issuing a clean, unmodified opinion for the district. This is exactly the opinion you want to get. It's a clean audit opinion. Along with looking at the actual numbers on the financial statements, we do look at the internal controls, which is basically auditor speak for all the different processes that you have in place at the district to arrive at those numbers on the financial statements. And we're tasked with identifying any potential holes in those processes that might lead to either big, significant or material, which basically means big misstatements in those numbers. So we're very glad to be able to report that we didn't identify any of those, what we would call significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal controls. Audit standards also require us to note any instances of noncompliance that would be material to the financial statements of the district. And once again, we're happy to report that we didn't identify any instances of those, of that, which is great. A few other items that audit standards require us to communicate while we have you all here today for the exit conference. First of all, there were no uncorrected misstatements. So even the tiny minor things that we identified through the audit process, the district chose to correct. And so those are reflected in the final version of the financial statement package that'll be published alongside with our report. And then also, there were no material misstatements in the financial statements that were corrected by management during the audit. So both of those things are really good. In terms of the specific risk that we have here on the screen, management override of controls, this is something that audit standards require us to evaluate as a part of every financial statement audit that we conduct. And it is to evaluate the possibility that there might be avenues that members of management could circumvent established control processes. And we took a look into this and evaluated this risk and didn't find any instances where management had override control processes, which once again, very good results. And that was the financial statement audit. So super clean, like Christina mentioned, not a whole lot to share in that case, which is great. So we'll move right along to the second type of audit that we perform for the district, which is called the federal grant compliance audit. It's performed for the same period as the financial statement audit, which is for the 2022 school year. The goal of a federal grant compliance audit is to issue an opinion as to whether or not the district materially complied with all the different requirements of the federal grant money that they received. And so you'll see there that similarly to the financial statement audit, we're issuing an unmodified opinion, which is the clean opinion that you want. We also look at the district's processes and controls over how it ensures that, for example, you're spending the federal funds on allowable activities, that you're spending the funds in accordance with the eligibility requirements, that you're reporting correctly to the granting agency, all those various things. We look at the processes surrounding those. And once again, we didn't identify any big weaknesses in those processes that we would call significant deficiencies or material weaknesses, which is really great. And we also didn't identify any instances of non-compliance that we are required to report. So the major program that we selected for audit was the Education Stabilization Fund. And as you can see here, the federal expenditures for this program represent about 41% of the total federal expenditures of the district for 2022. But once again, very clean audit. So before we move into some closing remarks, does anybody have any questions about the financial or federal audit that we performed?
Yeah, I just had a question about the adverse opinion on not using the gap style. Is there going to be any change in how that's handled on one side or the other so that those don't show up on all the school districts?
At this moment in time, we don't expect a change. That inclusion is driven by audit standards that are put out by the AICPA. So those are nationwide standards. So unless that standard changes, which it could, it could change over time, then we're kind of stuck having to include that for now. Really the hope is that the districts, report under the school district accounting manual, which is less comprehensive and time consuming than full accrual accounting or GAAP. So we do like that option is available to schools. And if it means having to put a small bit of wording, I think we're all okay with that for now. But until that requirement changes, it's kind of something we have to include in our report.
Okay, I was just curious because it's so nice to see such a clean report. And then there's that one little bit of adverse. And
yes. Mm-hmm.
But thank you for the explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. Very good question. All right, we're moving on to even more good news. So like Christina mentioned, we did conduct a remote audit and the district can expect about $4,000 of savings from our original quote that we provided at the entrance conference due to conducting that remote audit, which is great. Your next audit is expected to be conducted in winter of 2024. And along with the financial statement and the federal grant audit that we conduct every year, it is time for the district's accountability audit, which is that third type of audit that our office performs, which is the goal of which is to assess the district's safeguarding of public resources and compliance with different laws and regulations. We have provided an estimated cost for the next audit based on our current billing rates in the packet that was provided to you earlier. All right, now as far as our report publication goes, reports are published on our website, and we anticipate the report for the district to be out on our website by the end of the month. So if you've not already signed up to be notified by email when our audit reports are posted to our website, feel free to visit that link and sign up to get those notifications so you can get the report hot off the press. And then when your report is released, it does also release a survey that goes to a few different members at the district. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment to fill out that survey. We really value any feedback that you have about the audit process, and it helps us to ensure that we're providing the best experience that we can. We did want to take a second to include this slide for you all today at the Exit Conference, just to let you know that the most recent copy of the Audit Connection is available, and this version is tailored entirely to school districts. So it is geared towards school districts and includes topics such as, GASB 68, lease accounting, the Emergency Connectivity Fund program, documentation challenges, some updates on our financial intelligence tool and school district data, as well as information about kind of a new service that we're providing, which is those free cyber checkups. So that resource, the Audit Connection, is located in your packet. And then as well as if you're signed up to get those notifications from our office, you would have seen this come through that as well. And before we leave you today, we just want to give a really special thank you to Dan, who's our main audit liaison. He works really hard during the audit process and even beforehand to get everything prepared. But all of his hard work really pays off during the audit process. It allows us to conduct this remote audit, and it allows it to be super efficient and effective. But we just wanted to give a special shout out to him, as well as everyone at the district is just so pleasant to work with and is always willing to meet with us and provide us with any documentation that we need for the audit. So we really appreciate the partnership that we have with the district, and we're very happy to be able to deliver these clean audit results for you today. And with that, I will turn it over to see if there's any last questions for us. But if not, we will let you all go and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
No questions here. Thank you very much.
I echo that. Thanks. And lovely to see Dan being recognized for his excellence from other professionals. So we know that we're spoiled by him and happy to share him for a little while.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
Erica.
everyone.
Bye, Christina.
Bye, Dan.
Nice to see you again. It has been a while.
You too.
Good job, Dan.
Well, it's done.
Nice
That's
job,
done.
Dan.
Woo.
Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
Yes.
Have a good one. It's going to be
Same.
sunny.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye.